Taking responsibility. In Deuteronomy chapter 21, verses 1 to 9, it says, "If someone is found slain, lying in a field in the land the Lord your God is giving you to possess, and it is not known who the killer was, your elders and judges shall go out and measure the distance from the body to the neighboring towns. Then the elders of the town nearest the body shall take a heifer that has never been worked and has never worn a yoke, and lead it down to a valley that has not been plowed or planted, and where there is a flowing stream. There in the valley they are to break the heifer's neck. The Levitical priests shall step forward, for the Lord your God has chosen them to minister and to pronounce blessings in the name of the Lord, and to decide all cases of dispute and assault. Then all the elders of the town nearest the body shall wash their hands over the heifer whose neck was broken in the valley, and they shall declare, 'Our hands did not shed this blood, nor did our eyes see it done. Accept this atonement for your people Israel, whom you have redeemed, Lord, and do not hold your people guilty of the blood of an innocent person. Then the blood shed will be atoned for, and you will have purged from yourselves the guilt of shedding innocent blood, since you have done what is right in the eyes of the Lord.'" So basically what I read is, if a dead body was discovered and they didn't know who had killed that person, elders and judges were to take a heifer who had never been worked and never worn a yoke. The heifer was to be taken to a land that had never been plowed and never been planted, and it had to have a flowing stream. Priests were to actually step forward so the Lord will accept the atonement, while elders and judges were to wash their hands over the broken neck. The first thing that these scriptures tell me is that God is a God of detail. If anyone out there feels that God does not care about little things, this is proof that yes, he does. He cares about the big things and the small things. The second thing I see is they were told to take responsibility for what they saw. Had they ignored the dead body, had they not followed all of the steps, and this is where the detail comes in, where it had to be a heifer instead of a bull. It had to be unworked and unyoked versus one that was used to work. And there had to be a place that had not been plowed, nor planted. The place had to have a stream. And had they not gone with the priest, if all of those things had not been done, atonement would not have been made. The definition of atonement is reparation for a wrong or injury. Things in life today don't always have to go wrong or be wrong for us to take responsibility. I used to be a stepmother. I chose to take on the responsibility of being a parent figure for kids that I did not give birth to. Looking back, I did some things well, and there were some things that I could have improved on because I did not do them so well. Taking responsibility is not always easy, but it is required when God leads us to do so. The one thing I do want to say is when I was married to that person, God never told me to be a stepmother, but because I chose to marry that person, that is when I was given the responsibility, and God said, well, you need to take on all of what you just signed up for. You don't backtrack and say you just want to marry the person and not be a stepmother to their kids. So that was God telling me that you need to take ownership and take responsibility for what you signed up for, which was to marry this person. Excuse me. The one thing that all of us can take comfort in is when we have a responsibility. So when we're taking on responsibility, whether it's our choice or whether because God led us and told us to do it, we are not alone. My encouraging scripture is going to be in 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 9 to 10. It says, but he said to me, and this is someone, I don't remember who it was. Well, Paul. It was Paul actually talking, and he's getting ready to say words that God spoke to him when he asked God to remove a thorn from him. But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me. That is why, for Christ's sake, I delight in weaknesses, in insults, in hardships, in persecutions, in difficulties. For when I am weak, then I am strong.